Joe Budden says that his next episode breaking down the Drake and Kendrick disses will be on Patreon only. That's right, after the dropping of Family Matters, 616, and Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us, Joe Budden is putting the next episode breaking down all of those records on Patreon only. He said this on Twitter Spaces, and I just want to make you all aware because a lot of you are going to be looking forward to that episode, but just know it will not drop on Spotify, SoundCloud, or Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcast from. It will only be on his paywalled content, Patreon. And here's the thing. Here's what Joe Budden said. He said it might not even be on the $5 tier. That's right. It could be on the $10 tier. It could be on the $25 tier. So, what does this mean for all of the people trying to watch the content? It means that you won't be able to watch the content unless you pay up. And with every certain thing that's happening in regards to this beef, Joe Budden is monetizing off of it. But what's interesting about this is you can see Joe no longer cares about being the preeminent voice on this subject, and he is okay with letting ACK operate in that space. Joe Budden is moving into the background because he wants to maximize the profits, and that means that he will make more money, but his relevancy will start to dip a little bit. Remember when Howard Stern went to Sirius? He was big time. He was on the radio all the time, but then he went to Sirius. Yes, it was a great show still. Yes, the content was fire, but people didn't really necessarily talk about him as much. Hell, even Jay Leno clowned him and said, hey, yo, people used to talk about you, Playboy. Everybody used to know you. The mailman used to know you. Everybody, but now nobody listening to you, big dog, since you went behind that paywall. Well, that's what Joe Budden is doing. And I think eventually at some point, Joe's going to make one of the drops, one of the weekend drops or one of the weekday drops, Patreon only, and probably release one episode per week that isn't behind the paywall. Now, it's important to remember that Joe has a lot of Patreon subscribers because you go to his Patreon comment section and it looks like a YouTube comment section with like 1,000 comments. Most YouTubers, even the big YouTubers who go to Patreon, they don't have that many commenters. Like I went to Flagrant 2's Patreon and I saw not a lot of comments there like it is with Joe, but that's because he's putting his best content behind the paywall. Most of the other Patreon creators, they have their YouTube content, which is the priority, and then the Patreon content is kind of like, if you really want to support, we'll give you extra content, but it's not better than the free stuff that they give out. And there you have it, folks. So another thing that was interesting is that there was Patreon subscribers on the spaces, and they were like, oh, don't worry, I'm Patreoned up. But the people who enjoy the content for free are going to be angry. And, oh, man, I know there's some people who just will never, ever pay a single dime for content. They're willing to pay with their data, but not willing to pay with their pockets. I know for me, I mostly pay for stuff now. Like I pay for YouTube Premium just because it's a great investment for my channel. I pay for NBA League Pass. I pay for YouTube TV. I pay for Peacock. I'm bugging out, honestly. I should probably scale back. But let me know what you think in the comments. Also, I want to let everybody know that I'm working on a diss record, and I'm going to be dropping it on my channel. So you need to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because I'm tired of people, and I'm going to let it be known I've had enough. Follow me on Instagram, The Stop TV. Follow me on Twitter, The Stop TV. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.